Welcome to the Divine Connection Podcast. I'm your host, Cristina Aroche, and together we are walking the path of discovering your true self and the alignment with your soul. Through these conversations, you will experience a deeper level of connection with yourself and the universe, and most importantly, you will trust in your spiritual journey ahead. Let's begin. Hello, everyone, and welcome back for another episode. I am so excited to be talking about this information today, which is all about how to connect with the angels, and more specifically, giving you a daily routine that is going to support you if you desire to deepen your connection to the angels. And I have to say, this is probably one of the number one questions that I receive is, how can I deepen my connection to the angels? And so this episode today is going to answer that question for you. So let's dive right in. So the first thing that you want to know about this process is it's actually much simpler and easier when we choose one angel, or in this specific case, I'm going to talk about an archangel, one specific archangel to work with. And so you can work with any of the archangels. There's no, rule around this. There's not one archangel that is easier to start connecting with than another. They are all here to support us and guide us. And, each of us will have a different kind of resonance with different archangels. So what you want to do is first start off by choosing one archangel to work with. Okay. And again, like I said, it could be anyone. The way that you can choose is really by just tuning into yourself and seeing which one you are most guided towards at this time. Or you can use the example that I'm going to share and use today, which is Archangel Raphael. So Archangel Raphael is the one that we're going to use as the example. And so that's the first step. You got to choose which angel you want to work with and do this practice with them on a daily basis. Okay, so I choose Archangel Raphael. So the next step after this is that you want to tune in and kind of feel into what is the best way in which you receive information intuitively, right? So whether you see it through like your mind's eye, right? So your vision, whether you are more of a person who feels energy, so feeling within your body, that kind of thing, whether you are more of a like hearing, like auditory, so you hear messages or you hear things or whatever, like that kind of thing. Or if it comes through for you as more of a knowing, right? Which can be a little tricky to discern sometimes, but you'll know. You'll know if that's you. So that's the first thing that you want to just kind of become aware of is what is the strongest form in which I receive information intuitively in the first place. And if you're not really sure where to begin with this, think back to when you do meditations, especially when you do guided meditations, but also when you do your own personal meditations. What is the way in which you really connect with the energy in meditation, right? Is it through the visual, or is it through your knowing, or is it more like you hear the information, right? So whichever way, or maybe it's a feeling. Like I said, it could be any of those. And you may also be like, well, I kind of have two of these or three of these. And so in that case, choose one. Choose the one that you feel the most comfortable with. But you want to choose one way in which you receive information intuitively and that you feel the most comfortable with, the one that feels the strongest to you. Okay. And then, so once you've chosen that, then what you're going to do is you're going to call on the presence of the archangel that you are working with. So in this example, we are working with Archangel Raphael. So I would call on Archangel Raphael. So this is something that you can do first thing in the morning. First thing in the morning, when I wake up, I'm going to say, Archangel Raphael, please come forward and support me today. Please guide me today. Be around me. Show me my next steps. Help me to feel your presence in my life today. Something along those lines. And the point is that you're asking for them to be present with you throughout your day so that as you move about your day, you can see the different ways in which the angels show up for you and how they make themselves known to you. Because it's not always necessarily about, okay, I'm going to call on Archangel Raphael right now, and in this very second, I need to feel his presence or feel his energy, because it doesn't necessarily always work like that, right? We can't tell the angels how to show up. They know the best way to show up. They know how they're meant to show up for you and what will serve you for your highest good. So we really need to let go of that need to control, or that sense of like, okay, this is the best way, and instead just allow it to happen, allow it to unfold for us the way that it's meant to, right? So this is a practice, this is part of your practice, is to trust in that and to allow it to unfold naturally the way that it's meant to. Okay. So then, based on whichever way you've chosen, that's going to be the way in which you are going to intuitively receive information. So based on that, based on those four things that I talked about, you're going to focus on specific ways in which you're going to receive information throughout the day. So what I mean by that is, let's say, for example, seeing is your strongest sense. Then what you're going to do is you're going to really pay attention to the visions that come up in your mind's eye. So maybe when you call on Archangel Raphael, you'll start to see his green energy, right? Or maybe you're going about your day and maybe, something comes up, a challenge comes up. You're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And then boom, you start to see a green energy show up in your mind's eye, right? Like that is Archangel Raphael being like, hi, I'm here, I'm present with you, right? Or, obviously depending on which angel you chose and which one you're calling upon is going to be different. But in this example, it would be green for Archangel Raphael. Or the other thing that might show up is that you might see solutions or guidance coming to you in your mind's eye. So you might start to see like a flash of something, whatever the thing might be for you, that's like, oh, maybe that's my next step, right? And it's going to come through in that way. And you know that Archangel Raphael is coming through and guiding you and supporting you in that way. Okay. If you are someone who hears guidance or who intuitively is more connected to the hearing sense, then what I recommend for you to do is do channel writing. Channel writing is a huge and really powerful way to continue to strengthen your ability to hear and also to feel the most connected to the angels. So in that case, when you call upon, in this example, Archangel Raphael, you're going to sit down with your journal and you're going to call on Archangel Raphael and then ask him for any specific messages for you for the day, or if there's a specific situation that you desire guidance to come through for you with regards to that situation, then you're going to ask in that specific context. And then you're going to sit down with your pen and paper and you're going to just start writing whatever the stream of consciousness is that starts to flow through, that starts to come through for you. Okay. And it's important to trust. It's important to trust that whatever it is that's coming through is coming through, and you're going to just write and then go back and read it afterwards. And the reason why I really like this practice is because when we go direct pen to paper with our channel writing, it bypasses the mind. It bypasses our judgment or our analytical brain to think about, oh, what does that mean? Or what are they saying? Or this or that or whatever, right? You're just like just writing the word that you hear and that comes through for you. And again, if this is your first time practicing that, then it's okay. Just take it one step at a time. You might just get 3 words that come through, and that's perfect. It doesn't have to be a whole paragraph or a whole page worth of information. Allow it to be what it is and trust in what's coming through is what is meant to come through for you. Okay. If you are the kind of person who is more of like a feeling, you feel things in your body, you feel emotional energy, you have a sense of like the feeling around you energetically within your aura, within your body, within your chakras, right? Whatever, like however it comes through in that way, then what you want to focus on is actually tuning into your body and tuning into how it feels when you call on Archangel Raphael to come forward. So this is another way in which we deepen that connection, is because we start to become familiar with how each of the angels feels for us, right? So in this case, right now, you're practicing with Archangel Raphael. You're going to do this with Archangel Raphael, feeling to how it feels for you in your body when he comes forward. And through the feeling within your body's going to communicate with you. So we can also receive guidance in that way through our body, through the wisdom that it holds. So there is guidance and information that comes through in all these different ways. And so if you're in that space where you're like, okay, I'm going to tune into my body because I feel things on a deep level emotionally or physically in my body, that's the way in which Archangel Raphael is going to communicate with you. And so then your practice is about learning the ways in which your body then gives you messages, okay? Because that's the medium through which Archangel Raphael is going to communicate with you. Okay. And then if you are more of a knowing kind of person, things come to you and you don't even know how or why, you just know, right? Then the way in which you can start to communicate and deepen that connection with, in this case, again, Archangel Raphael, is going to be through signs and symbols. So it's going to be to pay attention to the different signs and symbols that show up for you throughout your day, whether it's angel numbers, whether it's, different other types of symbols. It could be a butterfly or a bird or a rainbow or whatever, right? So it's for you to really come into a place of, first of all, deciding what that symbol is going to be for you, between you and Archangel Raphael. So literally being like, okay, Archangel Raphael, the symbol that I desire for you to communicate with me is through, rainbows or butterflies or whatever. You can choose anything. And then the other part of that is also noticing what keeps showing up over and over and over and over again, right? So he might also communicate with you by showing you something. Like, let's say you keep seeing a lion, and lion keeps showing up over and over and over again. You woke up this morning, you're like, okay, Archangel Raphael, please guide me, support me, be present with me throughout this day. That whole thing that I shared at the beginning, right? You say that prayer, you go about your day, and you keep seeing lion everywhere, like lion this, lion that. You keep seeing this lion over here or whatever, right? You're like, why do I keep seeing lions today? What is going on? And then you remember, oh yeah, I asked Archangel Raphael to communicate with me through a symbol, and I see lions. So let's see, what does that mean? Right. And so you, through your knowing and through your connection, you start to understand, oh, lion is bringing me this message for me today. And that's how Archangel Raphael is communicating with me, right? So you can work with signs and symbols in those two different ways. One is asking for more of like a confirmation, like, Archangel Raphael, show me this sign and as a confirmation, or guide me and support me, and then you intuitively pick up on the symbols or the signs that keep showing up for you. Same thing with angel numbers, right? Angel numbers is a huge way in which angels communicate with us. And so you can also use that with, again, Archangel Raphael in this example, to support you with whatever the message is that's meant to come through for you. And maybe it shows up as angel numbers, right? So again, this process for you, you can do this with any of the archangels. And once you do this with one, I recommend that you do this for at least a week with one of them, right? So you focus on one angel for a whole week, if not longer, depending on what you are feeling at the end of that week. If you're like, no, I want to keep going with Archangel Raphael, or if you're like, okay, I want to switch it up and connect with a different angel. So what's going to happen is, as you become you focus on one angel for a set period of time, you're going to become very familiar with their energy and the way that they communicate with you and how they feel and all the things. And you're also practicing your intuitive abilities. And then you switch to another angel to do the same practice. And as you continue to build this with the different angels, you'll start to really feel the difference in their energies and really start to feel the difference in how they communicate with you. And that is going to build your confidence. That's going to build your trust. It's going to build the sense of profound, deep connection within yourself with the angels because of this practice, this daily routine. Okay, so I'm excited to hear from you and how this practice goes for you. So please, please, please feel free to share with me in the comments below if you're watching on YouTube, or reach out to me on social media and let me know how this practice goes for you. Let me know which angel you are working with. I cannot wait to hear more from you. Now, the other thing that I want to share is 2 different ways in which you can continue to deepen this connection with the angels. One is that I have a year-long course called the Angels Guild, where we focus on connecting with a specific angel every single month. And we also talk about a specific spiritual topic in relation to that angel every single month to support you in deepening your connection with them in that way. So the Angels Guild is something that you can join and be a part of for the entire year to support you with your angel connection. And the other thing is the Angelic Healer Certification Program. So that is something that I run a few times a year. And this is something for the people who know that they're meant to be healers and that they desire to really be supported in their work with the angels and learning how to channel, learning how to work with healing energy, specifically angelic healing energy, and who desire to really bring this work to either to enhance what they're already doing as healers, or to help them to really leave whatever 9-to-5 corporate job you might be in and step into your purpose as a healer. So the best way to get all of the information about the Angelic Healer Certification Program is through the waitlist. So you can join the waitlist, and the links to both the Angels Guild and the waitlist for the Angelic Healer Program are in the show notes below. So you can go check it out, go see all of the information. For those of you who are interested in the Angelic Healer Program, the waitlist page will show you the next round of enrollment, whenever that may be, depending on when you're watching this video or listening to this podcast episode. So all the information is there if you desire to deepen your connection to the angels. So I cannot wait to hear from you. I cannot wait to support you if you decide to join either of these courses. And as always, I am sending you so much love and angel blessings, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye. Thank you once again for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. And if you want to learn more about the Divine Connection podcast, you can go to CristinaAroche.com/podcast and learn about how you can be featured on the show.